when DC 37 on the unions, right, went there and settled with this insurance package, and not only say, look, we are not going to increase the premiums, right, but we are going to take saving out of it in order to give people wage increase, right? So from that angle, it become a tremendous achievement, right? And I'm not buttering up the thing. I just want you to get the context of it, right? And just to continue here, these were the demands that the unions made. This was the demand that the city made, you remember? And the city wanted us to get triple zero. You remember, right? And that's one of the reasons why all of these unions backed out of it. Because Bloomberg was forcing everything down our throat. Why was Bloomberg able to force the thing down our throat? It's a question of power. He has the executive power, right? He has the judicial power. Yeah, I know he's not the judge, but they appoint the people and they are the same class, right? And not only did he have the power, but we also have power too, but
with no money.
But we had power, but we weren't using it. And he had his power, but he was using it. Right? He had his power from, no, I'm not here for fun. He had his power, but he was using it, right? And they were using the judiciary, right? Remember the Republican shutdown, right? Part of the government last week. Was it last week, Monday? We barely escaped.
Yeah, well, they're ruling from the court.
Ruling from the court. We barely escaped by one. 5-4 decision. That they were after destroying union. And we can say union is no good. I said that all the while. You understand? I saw the unions are behaving, it needs much to be desired. But if the capitalist class, if the employer class, right, if fighting the union, right, if it was their allies, they will not be trying to destroy it. You understand what I'm saying? They know the potential is there, right? Even though we're not using it, right? And they say, look, the potential is here. Let's destroy it because if those guys learn to use it, forget us, right? So the point we are saying here is, look, they were forcing the 000 on us, right? And this is why nobody had a contract, but we weren't able to do anything. So we are back to where we are now. So this is the proposal that DC 37 has. You have the one page. This is a proposal that will be mailed out to all of you, all of us. It will be mailed out to all of us, right? Right? So when you get this, it does not have the substance in it. So we have given you all the details, all the substance here, all the agreements, right? So you can understand, you can interpret it, you can say why we are where we are, what is this sufficiently good. If you get this, what's going to happen to the cost of living immediately you get this? So this will be eroded immediately, right?
Yeah.
Did this answer the productivity? In HHC, they cut the staff by what percent? What percent they cut the staff by in HHC? Huh?
I don't know the number, but it's a lot.
10. You work for HHC. Mr. Aviles, I know Aviles is not the person I know. He come out and he boasts and say, I cut the staff by 10%. Okay. And we try and back him up and say, Alan, Bellevue, you're from Bellevue. They had a press conference at Bellevue Hospital, right? And you know, trade union are tricksters. We are all tricksters, right? And we saw Alan there and we asked a question, but Alan, if you cut the staff by 10%, it's bound to affect patient? Yeah. It's bound to affect it. You know what Alan said? Look, Alan looked at everybody and said, it does not affect patient care because the workers pick up the slack.
Exactly.
The tape is there.
Yeah, you have to do the job for some people.
Right? So Alan said, look, Alan was the president of HHC, right? And because the 10% is nice, right? Some other areas cut by 28%, right? ACS cut by 24%. The Department of Health cut by 9%, right? HHC, right? And I'm saying HHC. Why I'm stressing HHC? Because if you cut HHC and you cut pest control, maybe you do not, right, do extermination for some year. But if you cut hospital, you still have to protect the patient that's coming in. So you can't say you cut hospital and therefore you didn't provide the service. You understand what I'm saying? So two reasons why you hear me stressing the hospital, because a nice number, and if you cut the staff, that means somebody has to pick up the slack. Not we are saying it. Alan Aviles said that the patient pick up the slack. Did you get any compensation for that?
No.
Did this contract give you any compensation for that?
No.
So this is where we are, right? So we are behind the 8 ball. Why we are behind the 8 ball is that we are not agitating up and that sort of a thing, right? We are not just speaking about this now. Everybody who is here, come to meeting, know that what I'm saying is a broken record, because we have been saying this over and over consistently, right? Every newsletter we put out carry this. This is why we have in the newsletter here, brother Anthony put in here about Goldman Sachs, right? In the same newsletter here, right? Because we have been attacking the entire system and what's been going on. But we can say it until we are blue. That does not make any change. What makes change is when we are prepared to say enough is enough. Not just local 768, not just DC 37, right? But all of us have got to say, look, we are working harder, we are being stressed out, we can't get the leave, they are disciplining us, right? Because they have less staff, so they are watching us more. If we come in a few minutes later, they are on our backs, right? So it affects us, not only that we are working harder, but they are squeezing us out more. So there are two other points I just want to make about this contract, the proposed contract. Back the proposed contract. Because of the question of, they took away due process. We all know what due process is, right? Disciplinary rights, right? So they cut HHC by 10%, right? And they took away disciplinary rights. It means to say they can fire whomever they want without any recourse. That's what it meant, right? So all of the people are in competitive titles, right? They took away the due process from the provisionals in those titles. Most of the people in those titles were provisional, and they took away due process from them. It means to say that not respiratory therapists, right? But no, they are not. No, you know, if you have to take exams to go into the place, then that is a competitive title, right? And if you are provisional, it means to say you did not have due process. It means to say the union has no right. You have no right to go in and negotiate and discuss your dismissal termination. So they cut the staff, working you harder, and are now able to fire more. At the same time, you look at, I'm not going too far afield. At the same time, you can look at the parallel. The unemployment is kicking up, right? And that sort of a thing. So a whole lot of pressures are going on. So what this contract actually wants is to give back the members their rights. Their rights. That's right. So on the signing of this contract, right? The union will be finalizing the due process, and this is on page 12, number 12. I'm just pointing out some highlights of it, and then I take the question, right? Just give me 5 more minutes. Page 12, number 12. Immediately after ratification, the city will make good faith effort to ensure due process protection for provisional, similar to what's going on in the citywide. So what does that mean? Let's just analyze it quickly, because we can translate the thing into money. Right, I'm going to stop this in about 5 minutes. We are a new set of workers. We are not organized, we are not unionized. Right? The union come in and say you deserve 10% increase of pay. Right? The union say, look, you deserve 10% increase of pay. But the management say, okay, we'll give you the 10%, but we want the right to fire anybody we want.